You probably don't realize it, but you are walking through your entire life completely sleep deprived, and that detrimentally affects your entire human experience on this planet. If there is one thing that could significantly improve the quality of your life, including your mood, energy level, relationships, career, then it is sleep. For years, probably around 4 to 5 years, I was waking up at 5 every morning, doing my routines, my runs and swims, and I only slept around 5 to 6 hours. And I thought, that's fine, I'm grinding it out and I'm being super productive. But in reality, I was just fighting every single day just to stay focused and stay awake instead of being in flow and being properly productive. I was actually constantly anxious and imbalanced. And the worst thing is that I didn't even realize it at the time. I thought this is a normal mental state for me and I should just push through it. So, around a year ago, I listened to Andrew Huberman's podcast on sleep and I read Matthew Walker's book Why We Sleep, and I outlined the top 5 most crucial elements of a solid sleep routine. I followed it for an entire year and it completely changed my life. So in this video, I want to share my findings with you so you can benefit from it as well. From the famous health trifecta, from sleep, nutrition, and exercise, probably the sleep is one of the most crucial elements. And not like the other two, when with nutrition you have to eat clean and you can't eat some kind of food you actually crave, or with workout when you have to put in the hours and the effort and sweat every day. To optimize your sleep should be something very pleasant. So why can't you? Imagine it like this. Your central nervous system is like the main information highway in your body. Everything goes through it, or your memories, or your learnings, or your ideas, or your emotions, and everything your body needs to function properly. So basically, when you deprive yourself from sleep, you cause a major congestion on this almighty highway of your life within your body. And that actually translates to all different detrimental consequences, trickling down to every single aspect of your life. All of a sudden, it becomes very hard to stay focused. You literally feel dumber, your emotions are out of whack, and even the smallest annoyances feel like life-altering tragedies. So let's take a look and inspect some main aspects of what actually happens when you sleep properly. You process and regulate all your emotions during REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. And that is exactly why when you are sleep deprived, you feel so agitated and emotionally unbalanced. And that is exactly why after solid slumber, you feel happy, calm, and well balanced. Picture it like this. Without sleep, your brain is like a sponge full of water and it just can't soak up any more information. When you sleep, you actually shift information from your short-term memory in your hippocampus to your long-term memory storage, freeing up space for all the new learnings. Also, when you sleep, you actually practice things you learned throughout the day, but with a 10 times speed, back and forth all night. And that's exactly why, let's say, when you practice piano or play the guitar or play soccer or basketball, even though you don't practice it physically when you sleep, but in your mind you constantly repeat the same patterns. And that is exactly why when you wake up the next day and continue your practice, you're actually better than you were the day before, even though you haven't physically practiced it. It's crazy, isn't it? You sleep and in the meantime you learn all the things and process all the things you gather throughout the day. While you are processing all the information, you also come up with patterns and see those connections between all the information you gathered to come up with new insights and new ideas. When you are awake, you actually accumulate toxins in your brain, and that can lead to dementia on the long run. So during non-REM sleep, one of the deepest sleep stages, your brain actually cleanses itself from all these toxins, so you can literally start the next day fresh. So what happens to your hormones when you don't sleep properly? Men who sleep only 4 to 5 hours a night have significantly smaller testicles than men who sleep a solid 7 to 8 hours. And their testosterone levels are at the levels of someone 10 years older than them. Your immune system has a 70% lower activity when you only sleep 4 hours, even just for one night. So no wonder why you are always under the weather when you are sleep deprived. Almost every single disease in developed countries in some way can link to sleep deprivation. Hey, if you gained any value from this video so far, please feel free to smash that like button in the corner. And if you want to become friends, subscribe to the channel. So, number 1, view sunlight in the morning. Ideally, after waking up, you want to go outside and view some natural sunlight. The intensity of natural sunlight, even on a semi-overcast day, is significantly higher than the intensity of any artificial light in your home. The reason why it's super important, because light suppresses melatonin, the sleep hormone, and increases cortisol, so it gets you going for the day. Also, your circadian rhythm sets your sleep time from the time you first saw light in the morning to around 16 hours in the evening. Watching the sunset also helps, because it's a low solar angle light that signals it to your body that it's time to start winding down. My general rule of thumb, unless it's raining heavily, I go outside, break a sweat, look at some natural light, and then go for a cold swim in the ocean or have a cold shower at home. That sets up my day on a positive note immediately. Number 2, consistency is key. Go to bed at the same time every single night. That way you can reinforce your circadian rhythm for the same routine, so you will feel sleepy at the same time as well throughout the evening. Of course, I know some social events can wreak havoc to your sleep routine, but I guess that is a price we have to pay if we want to keep our friends. Having a consistent sleep schedule can also significantly increase your sleep quality. I personally never set an alarm unless I have a super early appointment. And I wake up at the same time, and most of the time I get sleepy around the same time as well. Number 3, no caffeine close to bedtime. Avoid caffeine within 8 to 10 hours before your sleep time. The half-life of caffeine is around 5 hours, meaning if you drink an espresso or a cappuccino around 5 p.m., which contains around 200 milligrams of caffeine, half of it will be in your system at 10 p.m. So that will make it super hard to fall asleep, or even if you can fall asleep, the quality of your sleep will definitely suffer. My rule of thumb for that is that I usually have my last cup of coffee at 1 p.m. That way it definitely won't interfere with my sleep quality and sleep schedule. Number 4, dim the lights. Avoid viewing any kind of bright light after sunset, because as I said it previously, bright lights, natural and artificial as well, can suppress your melatonin levels and keep you awake. I usually have a hard out time at 10 p.m, meaning I switch off all my screens. Even before that, at 7, I dimmed all the lights in the house, so that kinda gradually winds my body down and increases my melatonin level. And as melatonin pressure builds up in my brain, I just feel sleepier and sleepier. And after switching off all the screens at 10 p.m, I grab my Kindle and start reading. And if I'm actually tired because I had a big day, after 5 to 10 minutes sometimes, I immediately pass out and sleep like a damn baby. Or if I'm not that sleepy, I just keep reading and have a solid reading session for around 1.5 hours uninterrupted, which is amazing. It puts me in an inspired and great mood and makes me very sleepy, so I have great sleep after. And finally, number 5, keep it cool. Your body temperature needs to drop by around 1 to 3 degrees to be able to fall asleep. One of the main reasons you wake up in the middle of the night is because your body temperature increases. So if you keep your room cool, you have the option to put your hands and feet out from under the blanket. And the best way to cool down your body temperature, your core body temperature, is through your palms, face and feet. Also, it's good to have a couple layers, so if you feel too warm throughout the night, you can just take off the top layer and cool yourself down a bit and fall back to sleep. I usually sleep with my window open, so that keeps my room nice and breezy, and I just use earplugs to block out all the noise from the street. And a plus one. So these are some supplements you could take to support your sleep if you do everything else correctly already. Andrew Huberman recommends around 145 milligrams of magnesium threonate or 200 milligrams of magnesium bisglycinate. I personally also take 600 milligrams of ashwagandha because ashwagandha can reduce your cortisol, the stress hormone levels, by around 10 to 30%, which is quite significant. I find it calms me down and helps me to have a calm, good quality sleep without waking up in the middle of the night. So let's take a look and sum up the 5 most important things to make sure that your sleep hygiene is spot on, so you can make the most of this precious thing called life. View sunlight in the morning. Stay consistent with your sleep schedule. No caffeine 8 hours before your sleep time. Dim the lights after sunset and avoid screens before sleep. And finally, keep your room cool. Let me know what sleep routines you are using already and what routines work the best for you. I'm super interested to hear your insights because I always learn a lot from you guys as well in the comments. And also, if you gained any value from this video, please smash the like button. That will help the channel immensely. And for more upcoming content on how to unlock your potential and live your best life, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Keep going and see you in the next one, my friend.